The Battle of Navarino, the day the Algerian fleet was destroyed. Who would have believed that in just one single day, and one single battle, the legend of the mighty Algerian fleet of the 19th century would come to an end, and with it, the prestige of an entire empire would sink beneath the waves. The Algerian fleet, which had terrified its rivals across the Mediterranean for centuries, stood ready for battle. Hundreds of cannons were aimed toward the horizon, while sailors waited for the order to fire. But on October 20, 1827, in the Bay of Navarino, a storm of iron and fire was about to change the course of history forever. This is the story of the battle that shattered the Algerian fleet, and marked the beginning of the end of Ottoman influence in the Mediterranean, along with the dominance of Algeria's legendary seamen. The Battle of Navarino, the day the prestige of the Algerian fleet was shattered. It was October 1827. For centuries, the Mediterranean Sea had been a battleground where great empires competed for control of maritime trade routes and coastal cities. The Algerian fleet, sailing under the Ottoman banner, was among the most feared naval powers of its age. Even major European nations had, at times, been forced to negotiate, pay tribute, or seek safe passage to secure their trade and navigation in Mediterranean waters. At the same time, Greece was fighting for independence from the Ottoman Empire. The conflict had lasted for years and had drawn the attention of Europe's most powerful nations. Britain, France, and Russia decided to intervene. Their stated objective was to restore peace. But events soon spiraled out of control. As autumn arrived, a massive Ottoman-Egyptian fleet gathered in the Bay of Navarino on the southwestern coast of Greece. Among its ships were Algerian vessels crewed by seasoned sailors and hardened warriors who had spent their lives at sea. The bay was packed with warships. Cannons lined the decks. Thousands of men prepared for battle. Yet many commanders still believed that a full-scale war could be avoided. They were wrong. On the morning of October 20, 1827, the combined fleets of Britain, France, and Russia sailed directly into the bay. It was an extraordinarily bold move. The harbor was narrow. One mistake could ignite disaster. Tension filled the air. No one knew who would fire the first shot. Then suddenly, a cannon roared. Within moments, the entire bay erupted into war. Cannons thundered from every direction. Smoke covered the sea. Ships collided. Masts snapped like dry branches. Flames spread from vessel to vessel. The calm waters of Navarino became a blazing inferno. The Algerian ships fought fiercely. Their sailors unleashed relentless volleys against the Allied fleets. But the enemy possessed superior firepower, better coordination, and more effective naval tactics. As the battle intensified, burning ships lit up the sky. Explosions echoed across the bay. Entire crews disappeared beneath the waves. Ottoman and Algerian vessels fell one after another. Trapped inside the harbor, the fleet had little room to maneuver. What began as a tense confrontation turned into a devastating naval catastrophe. After hours of combat, the outcome was undeniable. The Ottoman-Egyptian fleet had been virtually annihilated. The Algerian fleet suffered devastating losses. Dozens of ships were sunk, burned, or captured. Thousands of sailors never returned home. The Battle of Navarino shocked the world. It was one of the last great naval battles fought entirely by sailing warships. More importantly, it delivered a crushing blow to Ottoman naval power and accelerated Greece's path to independence. For Algeria, it was a devastating disaster. A fleet that had dominated the Mediterranean for generations was reduced to wreckage in a single day. The fires eventually died out. The cannons fell silent. The thunder of gunpowder faded away. The smoke disappeared into the sky. But deep beneath the waters of Navarino remained the wreckage of a fleet that had once inspired fear across the Mediterranean, only to end its journey as twisted iron resting on the seabed. A reminder that even the greatest naval powers can fall in a single battle. And that one day in 1827 was enough to change history forever.